there. So you're almost at the end of the evening. Way to hang in there. Want to let you know I am like you. So I'm not a physician. I'm not a healthcare professional. I am just a member of the general public. So I'm the one who's at the end of the phone answering your questions when you call in and are concerned about what's going on and don't think that your doctor's listening to you, or answering the emails that you send through. So I'm just going to go through really quickly some ideas on what you can do to be a better patient. I have had the privilege of being someone who's been very sick at one point, with had a 10% chance of surviving. So I know what it's like to be the patient, and that taught me a lot about taking on the responsibility of being a good advocate for myself and being a good patient. So before I do that, just want to let you know that the CDHF is set up to help you. Our objective is to empower you to take control of your digestive health with confidence and optimism, and to provide you with the tools that you need to be able to do that. And the one thing that I think is a huge misconception for a lot of people is that you're the only one. You're the only one who's got a tummy ache all of the time. You're the only one who's constipated for weeks at a time. You're the only one who's ever seen blood in your stool. You're the only one who has pain in your chest because of the foods that you eat. You're not. If you look to your left and to your right, that's a small group of 3 people. 2 out of those 3 are going to have some sort of digestive issue this year. It's huge. It affects 20 million people, so you are definitely not alone. So one of the things that we want to try and help people get over is being afraid to talk about the symptoms that they're experiencing, but really the only way that you're going to get any help is if you learn how to talk about it. So you can read all the stats that are there, but you can see there are millions of people that are affected every single day. So the objectives of my session with you this evening are really to help you be a good patient, because in order to get good care, you have to take on that responsibility and that role of being a good patient. You can't be the victim. You can't be waiting for someone to come in over the horizon and save you. You really need to do some things to take care of yourselves. And we'll talk about all of these as we go through, but be informed. Make sure that you understand what could be happening to your body, what's the potential of could happen out there, ways that you can proactively protect your digestive health, and be aware of things that are going out there. Be regular, and I don't just mean in the terms of how many times you're going to the washroom every day or every week, but be regular with your doctor. And Adam talked about that. Make sure not just when you have inflammatory bowel disease, but when you have a medical doctor that you have a good relationship with, make sure that you see them all the time, so that when something goes wrong, you're comfortable going to talk to them and they're aware that something's different. Be honest, and Dr. Fedorik has taught me this one, is don't say what you think the physician wants you to say. Say exactly what's happening and use your own terminology to talk about it, and don't hide things. You don't have to go into great, massive detail, because there's not enough time to do that. But don't try to mask things. Make sure that you're being honest with yourself and with the physician, so that you can get the help that you need. Be proactive. Know what's normal, and more importantly, what's not. I think a lot of people have learned to live with pain and discomfort because they've gotten used to it and they're afraid to speak up about it. It's not normal to be in pain. Keep that in your mind and make sure that you accept that and embrace it. It's not normal to be in pain. Be prepared to walk away with a strategy. When you go into the physician's office, again, don't be a victim. Come up and say, these are the questions that I need to have answered. These are the issues that I'm dealing with. And I need you to help me have a strategy so that I can go away and feel better, or make sure that I stay well. And then the number one thing is be your own best advocate. You know your body best. You know when things are going well, you know when they're not going well, and you know when you need help. So if you need help, throw up a red flag, ask about it. And one of the other things that we hear quite often at the foundation is that, my doctor's not listening to me. They don't believe that what's happening to me is really affecting my life. If that's what your doctor is doing, they get paid good money to take care of us. So make sure you look them in the eye and say, I don't think that's right. I need help. I need you to explain to me why you're giving me this answer or this therapy, or why you're dismissing me. But make sure you understand what's going on, and make sure that the doctor understands you, so that you're not just a case, that you're a person with a life, and that you're actually looking for some support. Deal? We all pledge? Oh. Okay, so Adam, again, sorry, Dr. Wiseman went through some of this. Some of the information that CDHF has is fantastic. You know, I'm very proud to say that we probably have the most robust website in the country on digestive health and disease. So use it. We've spent a lot of time and a lot of money developing it to make sure that you have the information that you need when you go and speak to your physician. We have fact guides, we have web seminars. These sessions have been recorded for the last 3 years. There's all kinds of things that you can use for the tools that you need to become an informed patient. The fact guides, as I said, they're set up in a very specific way. So there's 19 different disorders, there's information on tests that are there, and then we're starting to get into digestive health, so the things like probiotics. So we want to, each one of them follows a very specific, the disease ones follow a very specific pattern where we talk about what is the disease, letting you know what the statistics are so that you're reassured you're not the only one that has this problem, what the signs and symptoms are so that you know that what you're looking for, and if you see, you know, if you go through in celiac disease and you're checking them all off, it's like, next time I go to the doctor, I'm going to ask about that. I'm not going to stop eating gluten. I'm going to go and ask the doctor about it. The tests that you may need to have to determine whether or not you have a specific disease, the treatment options that you have that are available to you, and then the expectations and tips that you can have when you're actually visiting your physician. CDHF has all kinds of other ways to get information. We've got a Facebook page that we post on every single day on all kinds of different things. We've got a newsletter that if you haven't subscribed to, please do very soon. We do the Twitter feeds a little bit, not a whole lot. We did a lot today, but in general, it's sort of a new one to me. And there's all kinds of other things that are always coming along. Next year, you'll actually see animated videos and those sort of things to make it fun for you. Dr. Hunt went through Love Your Tummy, so proactive strategies, and all of the pages that Dr. Hunt was talking about, we have at the CDHF booth, so we brought them for you. So if you think that you want to know more about bloating or flatulence or how to talk to your doctor or proactive strategies, please go ahead and grab them before you leave tonight. Know the lingo, that's what Dr. Hunt was referring to as well, and I apologize for the duplication here. But I think it's really important to understand that physicians and the public have different definitions of things. So go ahead and grab these. These are very basic symptoms that you might experience. Make sure you understand what those terminologies are so that you're speaking the same language as your physician. Take the sheet in with you and say, this is what I'm feeling. Point to the illustration and say, this is what's happening with me right now, and I want you to help me deal with that. The Bristol stool chart, we didn't need to go into a whole lot of detail of it. It's true. However, it was a very important point when we were building GI BodyGuard, again, to make sure that patients and physicians are talking the same language. There's actually, Bryce Wild, I think his name, has done a really good session on the Bristol stool chart on the Marilyn Dennis show. So if you do a Google of that, it's really funny and it's very, very good. So being prepared, that's the one thing of being a patient, is make sure that you're actually prepared. Whether you write down something in a notebook, whether you put it on a scrap of paper, whether you use an electronic device, it doesn't really matter. But remember, the best care that you're going to get is when you provide the best information to your physician. So figure out a way that's going to work for you and your physician to record that information, take it with you, and have it ready at your hands while you're in front of the physician. So I'm going to go through GI BodyGuard, not because I'm trying to promote it, although it is an absolutely stunning app that everyone should have, but because it actually goes through the steps of the things that you should be recording and keeping track of when you're going to talk to your physician. I will say that GI BodyGuard is free. It's available for iPhone and Android, so if you have a smartphone, there's no reason not to try it out. So just, you can go and Google it and you can download it for free anytime you want. So knowing your health history, again, you're your best advocate. You know the most information about yourself. Make sure that you keep that history up to date and that you've got easy access to it. It's really important for physicians to know who you are, what you've been through, what's normal for you, and what's not normal. So GI BodyGuard, the basis of it actually started with poop. So we wanted to be able to record how many times you're going to the washroom. Are you constipated? Do you have diarrhea? Do you have pain? Where is that pain? And then be able to actually pull all that information into a report. So again, with GI BodyGuard, and you can do it on a piece of paper as well, it doesn't have to be electronic. Actually make a note of where are you actually hurting. Are you suffering from heartburn? Do you have lower belly pain? Where is it? And what's the severity of it? And if you're experiencing other symptoms as well, like joint pain or rashes or those sort of things, bring them all to the attention. Just write them down, let the doctor go through them so that they've got that information to help make a diagnosis for you. I think most people have an aversion to taking medication. It's okay to take drugs when they're necessary, when they're done under the guidance of a physician, when you have a problem that requires them. Take them. They're there to make sure that your body is not being damaged more, or it's to help you regain the state of being healthy. Don't be afraid of them. That being said, don't be gobbling all of the medications that are given to you that have not been prescribed to you. Sometimes there are over-the-counter medications that may help you that you only need in the short term. Lots of times there's lifestyle changes that you can make to help you feel better. But again, make sure that you're keeping track of them. Is there a correlation between what you eat and drink with the symptoms that you're experiencing? Write down for 2 weeks. If you're having a lot of trouble with lots of diarrhea or constipation or pain, write down the foods that you're eating and correlate what's actually happening with your bowels and take them to your doctor. Again, that's going to help you get an answer for what's happening with your body. Exercise and weight. There's all kinds of evidence that suggests that being obese or overweight is going to cause you not only digestive problems but other ones as well. So make sure that you're keeping your weight in track and that you're actually exercising and keeping everything strong. And then with BodyGuard, it brings everything together into a report that you can either print out or email to your doctor or email to yourself, just so that you have a history. But once it's in there and it's yours, and it's a history that's dynamic. It's going to continue to build as things go on. Whether you do it electronically or you do it on paper, make sure that you have that history. That is your background check to be able to communicate what's happening within your body. So again, being a good patient is the #1 thing that's going to help you get good care. So be informed. If you've got symptoms, take a look around on the internet, on cdhf.ca, wherever it is that you can find information. Become an information junkie. Your body is the most precious thing that you have. Make sure that you protect it and then you're aware of how you can keep it safe. Don't be a stranger. Make sure that you're speaking with your physician regularly. Be honest with yourself and with the doctor. Be proactive, again, recognizing what's normal and what's not. CDHF, on every single one of our fact sheets, we have a listing of something called alarm systems. Download any one of the fact sheets and take a look at what those are, because those can be indications that you actually need to see a physician in an immediate state. Be prepared to walk away with a strategy. What do you want to get out of that appointment when you're actually with your physician? Dr. Wiseman had said, have a list of all of your questions. I would just add one caveat to that. Narrow it down to 3 or 5 questions at the most that are the most important and that are going to get you the answers that you need to get you on a path to better health or to maintain the health that you have. And speak up. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you are representing honestly exactly what's happening with your body. So I'm done, and we're going to have everybody come up and answer some questions, but I just wanted to let you know that before you scurry out, there's 10 prizes that Denon has put together for us, so we'll make sure that we draw those before you go. So don't leave that. We have most of the questions up front. If it turns out that you actually have another question, just raise your hand and one of us will come around and grab them. But thank you very much for being here this evening, and we'll get to the questions.